What kind of homes actually qualify for a VA loan in San Diego? I think this is one of perhaps the most important things you need to understand, especially in a competitive market such as San Diego. So I'm going to start diving into everything that has to do with the type of properties that you can buy with your VA loan. Because this all sprouted from someone asking me if they could buy land and they could put a mobile home on it, and if they could also additionally build some ADUs in that land using their VA loan. So that got me thinking, there must be a lot of myths and just general rumors going around in this VA community for veterans and for active duty that they can just buy whatever property that they want and they can use their VA loan for it. So it just came to me that I had to do a video about this. So let's start out with saying that the VA loan has awesome perks, right? This is one of the best financial benefits in history. If you have served the country or are serving the country, you have no down payment. It's a loan that you have absolutely no down payment, which is great because the 3.5% FHA loan for, let's say, a $1 million house, it's $35,000 in down payment that you have to give up. Plus, you have to give up every month PMI, which is private mortgage insurance that comes with your payment. And for $1 million house, you'd probably be paying between $500 and $1,000 in PMI every month. That's every month. And also, the VA loan has the most competitive interest rates out of all of the other loans out there. So you can see pretty clearly how this is one of the best perks. But because they're backed by the Department of Veteran Affairs, there are some rules about what type of properties you can qualify for. So in order to get VA financing, it must be a primary residence. So it can't be a rental or an investment property. There's a caveat to that. Obviously, you can buy it as a primary residence, and then eventually, if you want to move to a new place, you can refinance your VA loan into a conventional loan, and then you can buy another primary and just leave that one that you bought initially as a rental property. You can do that. The other thing that the VA financing needs to have in the property is that it has to have a livable condition, meaning that it's safe and it's structurally sound and sanitary. But I've seen some houses that just meet the bare minimum requirements, and you can still buy these places. And also, it has to pass the VA appraisal, which is slightly different than all the regular other appraisers doing the appraisals that will happen for the other loans. So as long as those three things are met, then it's perfect, right? Now let's talk about the kind of properties that are usually approved for a VA loan in San Diego County. Single family homes are by far like the ones that are just gonna pass with all flying colors. These are the most common, and as long as the home meets the VA condition standards, you're good, which aren't that great. Like I said, they're not super strict either, but they need basic things, right? Like you can't have a house that has like leaks on the roof, or that doesn't have a stove, or that doesn't have heating, things like that, right? The other type of property that you can definitely get approved for a VA loan is a condo. You can use a VA loan for a condo, but the complex has to have VA approval. Not all of them are VA approved. So let's say that in San Diego, you find a super cool complex that has everything you need, but the HOA reserves, the homeowners association reserves, aren't being met, or they're which means that they don't have enough savings to like cover for an unforeseen circumstance, right? Like there's something happening in the complex and they need money from their reserves. If they don't have enough savings, then they won't get VA approved. And then also, if, for example, they don't have enough insurance in the whole complex, then the VA will say like, I don't really want to back a loan of someone who's buying in a place like that. So it has to have VA approval. But if you find a complex that you like and it doesn't have VA approval, it's a relatively simple process to get that complex approved or to get a spot approval for the condo that you are interested in. And I'll talk about that in later videos. The other type of property that is super popular in San Diego and is treated like a single family home is a townhome. So if you own the land underneath, these are often easier to finance than condos. Then you can also buy a multi-unit property. These are by far my favorite because they're up to 4 units, and you can use it. You could use the VA loan to buy a duplex, triplex, a fourplex, as long as you live in one of the units. And this is a killer strategy because they calculate the income from the rental, the rental income from the other units into your total income when they calculate how much house you can afford. So this is a great way to like increase your equity and your net worth super quickly. Manufactured homes, they're possible, but they're super tricky in California because the home must be on permanent foundation. And in California, we don't have many of those. But as long as they're in permanent foundation and you find a lender that actually wants to do that, then you can buy a manufactured home. And you can also do new construction. This is allowed, but few builders work with VA financing. So you have to find a builder who wants to work with VA financing. This is rare in San Diego, but it's technically possible. I've had a lot of people talk about that and find cases that actually work. So then what doesn't qualify? Okay, so fixer uppers that need major repairs will usually not pass the VA appraisal unless you use a VA renovation loan. And those are tough to find lenders for. But if you find someone who will lend you for that, then you can buy the house that's a fixer upper with the VA loan and then get a renovation loan to fix all the things that are needed. What's really hard to finance as well is a vacation home or a second home. Okay. Because that's going to be really difficult to do. And then also raw land. It's really hard to finance, or even I would say impossible to finance, just buying raw land with no home on it. And then also obviously non VA approved condos and townhomes, even if they're beautiful and like I said, in a great area, but if the HOA is not up to par to what they need, then you won't be able to finance them. How can you check if a condo is VA approved? That's another video that we will be recording, and you can find the link in this profile. But there's a way that you can check immediately if a condo or a townhome is VA approved. And also, if you want to learn how to shop smarter with VA loan limits in San Diego, and you want to learn how to find the best properties that will have the highest rate of return down the line, then follow this channel because I'm going to talk all about those. So that's the breakdown. Now you know what types of homes qualify for a VA loan right here in San Diego County. So if you're thinking about buying with your VA benefit, let's talk, okay? I can connect you with the lender that will give you everything that you need to know and will give you a budget of how much home you can afford, and based on your payments, how much home you can afford. Because I always tell people this: you got to fall in love with your payment, man, before you fall in love with the actual house. So reach out to me, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode of Living in San Diego, California. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.